Hi there, and welcome to this feature-focused tutorial on payment plans. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to navigate, set up, and manage payment plans within your system. The Payment Plan tab provides a structured way to manage how patients and debtors settle outstanding balances over time. By setting up installments, tracking remaining amounts, and reviewing payment progress, the practice can ensure clear financial planning and maintain accurate account management. This feature helps streamline communication with patients while supporting transparency and accountability in payment handling. This feature is currently automatically available to dental entities. However, it can be set up for your practice at request. If you'd like to have this feature installed for your practice, please do contact our sales or support team. Alright, let's get into the video. Let's start by locating the payment plan screen. You'll find the payment plan tab under the reports module, and it's usually the last tab. This screen gives you an overview of all your payment plans. At the top, you'll see your filter options, which help you locate specific payment plans. You can filter by status, for example, selecting active and clicking update results will show you only active plans. Selecting draft will show plans that are not yet finalized. So this is a filter option, and below that we've got all the columns. Some of the options we have here is to select singular or multiple debtors. You can see that 2 items are selected, right? And we can select all the debtors in this page, or we could deselect that. Next to that we've got open row. So open row, you will have to click on a debtor first, go over to open row, and you can open the information of that specific payment plan. Okay, next to that we've got add new. This is us adding a new payment plan, and once we've added this payment plan, it will populate in addition to the other payment plans that we have here. Alright, and then select all will simply select all the payment plans that we have on the system, of which at the moment it's 26 payment plans that we have. Alright, so if I were to select there, go over to 10, you'll see that it shows the results of 10, but we've selected all the plans that are on the system. Okay, so I'll just go back, and next to that we've got expand widths. Now expand widths, you can see here that we can't see all the information for the medical aid option. So if I click on expand widths, it will give me a clear reading of each and every single row, and I might then have to move my mouse to see everything. Okay, and then if I click on reset, it will reset to the default column size that we have here. Okay, next we've got sort. Sort is simply to allow you to decide which column you'd like to sort the information in. For example, if I want to sort everything according to surname, I can go over to sort, go over to surname, say ascending or descending, whichever you'd like, and you'll see that now that we're starting with the last all the way to the beginning of the alphabet. Okay, so it's in descending order. And next to that we've got columns. Choose columns is going to help you select what information you want visible on your columns. Okay, so for example, if I don't want any patient information, this is just an example, you'll see that those specific columns will move here. Okay, so let's just do it as an example. You see we've only got debtors now. And now if I want to save this layout for any reason, I go over to save, and I specifically say debtor only layout, and if I'd like to add entity information, I'll add that there, and I'll click save. And once I click save, it will take me back to the default that I had, because now you can see that patient information is back, right? Because that's the default layout. And once I click on this drop down, you'll see that there's my debtor only layout. Okay, so if I click on debtor only, you'll see that patient information is gone, and we can have more than one save layout. Alright, so going back to default, and then once again we've got our export to PDF or export to Excel. Okay, so that's just an overview of the entire screen. Okay, perfect. Now let's create a payment plan. We'll go over to add new, and the add edit payment screen will open. Firstly, we'll click on the 3 dots and we'll select a debtor that we'd like to create a payment plan for. In this example, I'll go over to Kathy LaRue. Alright, and then over here is where we define the financial structure. You'll see three main sections. Firstly, we've got details, we've got primary billing, and we've got installment billing. Firstly, details is the entire amount that will be billed. Primary billing is more of the first payment or the deposit, if you will. And then finally, the installment billing will then of course be the installment that will be billed. And over here we can go over the status of this account, of which right now it's still within a draft stage. Alright, so let's make an example. Let's say we've got a quoted amount of 10,000. Right, we've got a quoted amount of 10,000 and we want to pay that over 6 months. Okay, that will give us our installment amount, or we can say we want to pay 1,000 Rand every month, and that will also give us the installment amount. So the system will automatically calculate that area over there. Then we've got the primary amount. The primary amount is basically like the deposit that you put in as a first payment. I'll put 2,500 over here, and you'll see there that we've got 8 remaining installments of 1,000 Rand, and the remaining amount is 7,500, which means the final installment amount will be 500, which is different from the installment amount of 1,000 Rand. However, if I were to say the amount is 500, then we can break it down into even numbers, and you'll see that the final installment will be 0 because it's the same as the installment amount. Alright, so let me just go back to 1,000, and then over here you'll see that we have this notice over here, right? So switching the status to active will generate the primary invoice. So the primary invoice will be for that primary amount, or the deposit as we say. Okay, now we'll start with the transaction date, which is usually today, and then the tariff code could be any code of your choosing. This doesn't necessarily mean that the consultation was 10,000, right? There's a lot of line items that are going into this quoted amount. However, we can only put in one tariff code, so you can decide which tariff code you want to put in there, and then you can communicate with the medical aid if the patient is on a medical aid, right? Below that we'll put in the diagnosis. Okay, and over on the installment billing, right, I'll put in the same code. Okay, we can put in our treating practitioner, referring practitioner if it is applicable, and our service center. And once I click on activate, it will generate that primary invoice. However, I could save it as a draft if there are things I would like to change. So I can go over to save, just for example, and you see I can't see it right here right now. Okay, so I could always then go over to status, deselect active, deselect on hold, and look for all my drafts. All right, update results, and there we have our draft. Okay, and we can open that, change anything that we'd like to change if necessary. Otherwise, if we're happy, we can go over to activate. Once we've activated, click save, and it will tell us that changing the status will generate a primary invoice. Okay, so we say okay. And now when I go back to that same payment plan, all right, active, update results. Okay, it's still showing me a lot of different results, so I'll go directly to the surname. Alright, and my amount was 10,000 with 8 different installments, so that's the one that I have here. Right, click on it, open it, and now you'll see that we have a linked invoice, and that invoice is then linked to this payment plan. Alright, if you want to create or generate other invoices, please do contact your FCL, as that is something that can be done on the desktop, right? And it will transpose over to the web. Okay, but let me give you an example, right? So we do have this invoice here, and it's document number 36. Okay, if I click here, the sidebar will open, and from here I've got a few options. I can pay via payment links, I could add notes, or whatever the case may be. Okay, but if they're right there in front of me, I can go over to account details, locate that specific invoice, it's 36. All right, open it, actions, and we can create a receipt. The amount will automatically be allocated, and I can just select, for example, bank account 1, debit card, comment or reference if you'd like, and I can post. Okay, now let's say the patient does come again, right, for something different, and they would like to pay, but you don't have an invoice for that payment as yet. what you can do is create an unlinked receipt. Right, we'll go over to new receipt, and you can see there's no invoice linked, so we'll just come over here to the ledger, bank account, debit card, and let's say they're paying that installment of 1,000 a bit early, and you can see there that that amount is not allocated to anything, so we can add a comment. All right, payment plan payment. You could add that comment over there, so that when the invoice is created, you know that this specific receipt has to go to that invoice for the payment plan. Once we're done, we say post unlinked. Are you sure you want to post and link? Yes. And then we've got that. Then we've got that receipt, and we know that is for the payment plan. And once that invoice is generated, we link it over. Okay. Then I'll go over and press close. Then I'll be back to my payment plan screen. Once again, we can use these action buttons here on the linked invoice as we did for the payment plan section. We can export to PDF or export to CSV. Okay, and I save that. So just a quick recap, we went over everything here, went over the filter section, we went over the many displays that you could have here, went over the action buttons, we went over how to add a new payment plan. All right, and once that payment plan is added, we went over to linked invoices, and as you can see, they were receipted, there's a turnover, and that linked invoice has been paid. And we went over how to handle early payments when the invoice has not yet been generated. Okay, so with that, we've come to the end of this feature focused tutorial. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.